We have a snack today.
Yeah, we do.
We have crunchy strawberry Pocky, which, if you don't know what Pocky is, it's like a pretzel stick covered in like either chocolate or like strawberry, white chocolate stuff.
I would
It's
like.
crunchy strawberry flavor, which means there's chocolate. It's a chocolate stick with a strawberry
Oh,
outside.
are we gonna take communion this?
No,
Okay.
we don't have any.
I mean, we
Wine.
got Pocky. We could all take a sip from my bubbly can, Catholic style.
I thought we agreed to stop doing that.
It is weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
Well, I wasn't there for that meeting.
Yeah, you were.
I was probably half asleep.
I
This
think,
is
Yeah, you were.
I think it was a podcast that we had Caroline on, and we were
Yeah.
like, maybe we should stop doing that.
Oh yeah, I was definitely half asleep. This is the first podcast that I've been fully awake for.
And you're blessed
So-
with Podcast Fork.
Yes,
excited.
I am blessed with Podcast Fork. This is
Yeah,
my-
if you don't know what Podcast Fork, go follow our Instagram. There's now lots of you who listen to this podcast, and I haven't gotten any new followers on the Instagram. So go follow us on Instagram, please.
You know what? I still find it hard to believe that people are actually listening to this.
Okay, it's wild. We like hextupled our listeners
Are they all from China?
in a week. No. I don't think we have
Like,
any
I
Chinese.
don't mind a Chinese market listening
Okay.
to us, but
90. Whoa, that's weird. 96% from America.
okay, that makes sense.
2% from Germany.
I had a feeling Germany would be one.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird.
Who in Germany is listening to us?
I don't. Yeah, I really don't know.
Because reach out. It'd be cool to
I
talk
made
to
that
you.
one Third Reich joke, and they're like, "That's funny." I don't know.
I'm not even sure if it made it into the final edit of that podcast, but you did make that joke, which I think is technically illegal
In Germany.
in Germany.
Oh,
So
they make a lot of Nazi jokes. I don't know.
See, it's okay to make the jokes as long as the Gestapo is not listening.
okay.
Okay,
Okay. Whoa.
Wow. For our German listeners, we do not actually think you guys are still Nazis.
No.
We love you.
Yes.
And I really want to visit someday.
Same.
Yeah, me too. So tell all your friends about this podcast so we can go to Germany one day and
We
Yeah.
will do a podcast in Germany.
Yes.
we'll make videos and stuff. Then
Dumb
Hopefully-
Americans trying to get around
You know what would
Germany.
be great is if we can get sponsored by Boker and visit that knife.
that would be
company.
cool.
See all
okay.
the historical castles along the way.
Oh yeah. So we have 4 countries that are at less than 1%, and that is Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia.
See, is Ireland its own nation?
Yes.
Okay, what about Scotland?
Not technically.
Technically,
Which is really sad.
they are their own country,
Excuse
but
me.
they're not.
Well, like their own, they're their own people group, but they're not
Oh.
their own country because they I don't know, set it up for a vote
Yep.
like a decade ago, and it didn't go through, and a bunch of Scotsmen were like, "This is big sad time," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is. Why didn't you had your chance?"
Yeah. Wasn't Ireland at some point part of the United, or there was something with Ireland in the UK? Because I had to write about that in my History of Modern Europe class. They called it the Irish problem or whatever, because the Brits are very, wait, I shouldn't say that, have been historically very anti-Irish. So
It's because the Brits in general are historically known to be radical racists.
they just think they're better than anyone else. That's all.
They're just
and-
elitist, not racist. Just
yeah,
elitist.
which is why we throw their tea in the harbor.
So, in the last 30 days of the podcast, we have gotten 154 views, which, to put that into perspective, before that, we had 50.
Wait, hold on, back up. What? We started out with 50. Or
Uh-huh.
not started, but, we had 50.
Well,
at
actually, I
some
think
point.
we were around 100.
Okay.
Or
Now,
like
how many do we have now?
250 total.
Nice.
So we've gotten 150.
Are these
And-
like active listeners, or is it like
Okay.
Karen accidentally stumbled upon our podcast and while
So-
she's washing dishes and couldn't change it because of soapy hands?
So okay, there's a thing for how many listeners we have, and it's the number of distinct devices that downloaded or streamed an episode in the last 7 days. About 2 days ago, it was at 50 something.
Okay.
Right now, it's sitting at 37. So it went down. So that
Yet again, we haven't really
Quite a
pushed
few
out much
people.
content in the past week.
well, we haven't missed a week.
We haven't.
So these are people who are just not coming back after the Luke Grass episode, which is understandable.
Understandable. Also, it's the holidays. People are get busy, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I was listening to that
Yeah, exactly.
podcast."
Yeah, that's fine. I do need to check our YouTube because our YouTube statistics are not.
Statistics.
Hold up, Carl
on there.
Weezer. All
No,
for
we're
Christmas?
not. We're not looking at that right now. Okay,
What will we
so
find in Josiah's computer?
on YouTube, the Luke Grass episode has 5 views. Oh my gosh, what happened?
What's
Okay.
going on?
So the Luke Grass episode, our best episode, just objectively, right, has 5 views. The episode before that, Seth's New Friend, has 46.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. That's weird.
What about all the others?
They're sitting around 10 to 20.
Seth apparently is very popular. I guess bullying Seth really does work.
Apparently.
I guess when he comes back, we're going to have to make a point to bully him again.
Yep.
Okay.
You're like,
Wow.
Seth, just to let you know, we're not doing this. We're not bullying you because you're a bad person, although you do bad things like everyone else does, but because it apparently is a magnet for viewers.
Well, so really, you guys are all sick, all you viewers out there.
Yeah.
But we love you anyway.
Well,
So-
who's really sick?
And then we have, so our our top ranking episode is obviously the episode with Luke Grass at 56 views, which
Nice.
is pretty darn good. But we also saw a spike in episode 1 views. That jumped up to 37.
It's probably because I think Luke's episode probably got a lot of people. I don't know how. I don't know if Luke shouted us out.
Yeah,
or-
he did.
Okay, that's probably what it is
yeah.
then. So he probably
Thank you,
shouted
Luke.
us out, and then people were like, "Oh, that's cool," and so they either went to the episode before, which is Seth talking about his best friend Luke Grass, and at that point it was kind of a joke.
Yeah, it was. We did not expect it.
And
To,
then episode 1 was like people saying, "Oh, these guys are pretty funny," and then they saw episode 1, and they're like, "Oh."
And we've made $0 from all this. So, yep,
This
We're
is
like-
a labor of love.
It's a labor of love.
it really is. And let me tell you,
And
I am
boredom.
laboring.
Like, we aren't getting paid as much as PBS Kids because we're not government funded.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, but I thought PBS Kids was funded by viewers like you.
It's definitely not. Well, kind of, because where else
Both.
is our tax dollars going?
Well, they also take donations because, the government doesn't actually fund things, give the funds that they actually need.
I know you can get tax breaks for donating to things.
Yes, you can.
Maybe I should do that. Be like,
If
all right.
they're sign on as a not-for-profit, I forget what that's called.
The thing is if I do that, can I avoid paying the government money?
If you give enough. Now, every time I've put in what I've, given to the church every year, it's made no difference in my tax return. So,
Yeah, it's because the government doesn't have any respect for church.
well, because it just wasn't enough. Because I don't make hardly anything, so I can't afford to donate.
Well, if I could find out
bunch.
how much I owe in taxes and then just put it towards some nonprofit that I actually like and care for, that'd be
That's the
fantastic.
thing. Do you
because-
actually owe taxes?
Probably.
I doubt you do.
I'm gonna get money back this year.
I
Yeah.
think the government owes me money too, but that's just because they've done a really good job of screwing up our economy.
Well, yeah.
Well,
See, the only way you're gonna owe money is if you're self-employed, usually, because usually they'll take
Because you
your
have to
taxes
take care of your own taxes at that point.
Yes.
It's just kind of a mess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this is what I like to do normally is just look at our podcast statistics. So, yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Boost my ego.
I don't
Boost your
have
size ego.
friends that don't already listen. That's not true.
I could use some more friends.
And Gabe needs friends, so message him on Instagram at Gabriel Atkinson.
Here's the problem, though. A lot of the people that I get as new followers on my Instagram account
Are robots.
they're probably bots, and if they're not bots, they're
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, I
Which
don't
I'm gonna
mind
censor. Ladies of the night,
having ladies of the night.
as my mother referred to them one time.
That was funny. We're like, what?
Speaking of your mother, me and Seth are kind of poking fun at how, like, Nanny isn't aware of certain things.
Like,
So we were watching 1917. No, yeah, 1917, World War One based movie.
yeah,
And we were enjoying the movie, and they made a masturbation joke because, you know, British soldiers in the trench, haha, masturbation joke. And apparently Nanny didn't like that, Seth told me. And I was like, okay, why? And he's like, well, Nanny was like, men back then never said that. That's his impersonation.
She'll say that about
And
a
I'm
lot
like,
of things.
like, Nanny, like, men back in the day would joke like that. And they're like, no, they wouldn't. It's like, not around you. Not around other women. No, but, like, when it's just the guys,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
No, we'll be watching like a period drama or something, and they'll kiss before marriage, or and they're like, they didn't do that back then. I'm like, excuse you. Yes, they did. And there's so many stories about children born out of wedlock, and they have to hide the kid, or it's a secret, or whatever. Like, do you think everyone was just perfect in the past? I don't understand.
yeah.
So
Yeah, hormones didn't exist until, like,
yeah.
1960s.
Yes, I think it just wasn't things weren't just talked about back then. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't have
Woodstock
TV.
created hormones.
But
Woodstock
yet again,
created-
like, they also, in Victorian England, had doctors that specialized in...
Which we will also censor out.
Yeah, we're going to censor that out, but I'm just saying,
Yes,
like,
they did,
that's what they
because-
had back then because, like, they didn't...
Because they believed that women had hysteria, and that was the only way to cure it. So hysteria is not a real thing.
Not scientifically.
Being crazy as
Wait,
heck
no.
is, though.
Wait,
yeah.
hysteria is a thing. Female hysteria is not a thing.
Oh, okay. Yes. Because really, we were just tired.
just a
Women
flavor
were
of
just
the
tired of
story.
being treated like dirt, and men were like, "What's wrong with you? I'm taking you to the doctor."
And I think we should go back to that.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah. But usually it's more like you both need to go see a therapist and, like, talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. Or just... That's the biggest problem, is lack of communication. Like, if there's a failure in a relationship, it is 100% lack of communication.
Yeah.
Very rarely, in fact, I'd say probably never, is it anything else.
Lack of
That's the
communication.
problem.
Unmet expectations, but a lot of times those expectations go unmet because they're never communicated in the first place.
Precisely.
But then there are some people that, like, you can explain to that, hey, I would really like it if you did this or stop doing this, and they go, nah, because they're a jerk. But
Right.
most people,
And, like, some
a lot of
people are
people-
just hard to explain things to. Like, I know I'm kind of hard to explain things to because someone could just say something and I'm like, okay, why? And if they, because, like, I need to know how things work in order for me to be like, oh, that's necessary. I get that.
yeah.
So I made friends with a Catholic rat.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yeah. So I was on TikTok, right? I was just scrolling through as I do. This was yesterday. And I found this video. Hold on. Whoa. Let me see. Basically it's a picture of a rat in a Pope costume. And it plays this. And
It's like the kind of music you'd play in a dungeon. I freaking love
Yeah,
that.
and so I commented, "Thank you, Father," and then the account said, "Ameno," and then I replied with a crying emoji, and then he responded with a rat emoji and a cross emoji. And then I responded with "I love you" crying emoji, but more "I love Christ." And then the account said cheese, rat emoji, Christian emoji, rat emoji, Christian emoji, repeating. And then I just responded with "Amen, Father."
Can we have this guy on the podcast?
Yeah, so Fazball Supreme, please contact me.
You almost made me spit my drink with that name.
Yeah, contact me. You can email me at unusablequestions@gmail.com.
Nice.
And also, any of the viewers can contact me there as well and send questions for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We currently don't have any.
Should we set up like a P.O. box?
No, we'll do that when we have like actual viewers.
Okay, here's the thing. If we get, let's say, 800 subscribers on YouTube alone.
Okay, subscribe to us on YouTube. Get us to 800 subscribers. And also let us know if you want a P.O. box via Instagram, Twitter, email. You can find us all. You can find us there. There's links in the description of the videos.
That are hopefully not laced with
Anthrax
fentanyl.
or that.
Yeah, like
Because if it's laced with fentanyl, I will probably eat it and die.
no homemade snacks. Do sealed snacks from the store.
Or if we get a homemade snack, we're gonna like buy a cheap pet off of like at
Just
Petco.
a rat.
Just buy a rat and feed
Yeah, we're
it
gonna
to
buy
it.
a rat.
Put it in a
Not the
popcorn.
I mean,
rat.
no. We'll do like
Can I have
we'll do
We'll do
sinner
like
rats.
We'll do like a guinea pig.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, guess what I found out yesterday? So I was subbing a social studies class, and the kids had to write a paper about a country in South America, so they were working on that.
Did anyone write about Ecuador?
Probably. But this girl was writing about, was it Ecuador? It might have, I was thinking Brazil, but I don't know. It was some country where they eat fried guinea pig.
Ecuador does that.
Ecuador does that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had it.
Maybe it was Ecuador. Yeah, and she was showing pictures of the food around, and I'm like, nice.
Dude, they keep the head on there too.
Wow.
Like I saw its orange teeth
Was it good?
fried. Guinea pig, you know how like a guinea pig cage smells?
Sort of. I haven't really been around one.
It's like it's very potent. It tastes just like that. Is it good? I would have to get another try. It's been years, but I would not recommend an American being like, yes, that is what I want. That's going to be great, because chances are you're not going to like it.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah. It reminded me of the rat on a stick from Shrek.
it's good, but it's definitely not something that is a friendly meat. It's very gamey,
Yeah.
very strong.
Interesting.
Oh, speaking of subbing, though, I have a funny thing I overheard from a 7th grader. So, school hadn't even started yet, or maybe it just started, I don't know, but I'm sitting at the teacher's desk. There are a few kids in the room, and these girls are talking, and I overhear this girl say, "An alligator is at least as long as a trombone, I think." And then proceeds to Google how long an alligator is. And I just sat there trying not to laugh out loud. And I'm like, well, she's not wrong. They are at least as long as a trombone.
I'd say that's about the size of a caiman.
Oh, what?
A caiman is like an alligator, but just smaller.
Oh,
From
yeah.
the Cayman Islands. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably about as long as 2 trombones.
Yeah, probably 2 trombones.
Like a full-grown
Yeah,
alligator.
with the slides pulled out.
You know what? This is a
Oh.
great segue because I watched a video about a trombone video game last night.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
trombone video game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Game Grumps.
Trombone champ.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Game Grumps played Gosh, this is a tongue twister. Game Grumps played trombone champ.
Trombone.
I give up. On I'm guessing they played on the PC, and
Okay.
it is the goofiest game.
It sounds like it.
It's ridiculous. It's like Guitar Hero, but you're playing a trombone.
But it's also like Wii music.
Oh.
Yes, it's kind of
It has like me characters.
but it's also
Right.
like cursed because
Sounds like
Yeah.
it.
the background shifts, and so like let's say you're playing a Mozart piece. Mozart's face will phase in and out of view throughout the thing, while like all this other stuff is going on, and you're just like, what is going on?
I have to play this
And
now.
also,
It's-
if you
it's
play
cool.
the wrong like note, it sounds terrible.
Oh yeah,
But even if you do it right, it doesn't sound great.
right. It's definitely Wii Sports kind of level,
Yeah.
but it
It's
looks like
great.
fun.
Everyone, go look up trombone champ.
Trombone.
I've given up at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what a trombone is.
Trombone. A trombone.
Yeah. So, go look it up and watch some videos. There's some pretty legit mods for it,
Oh my gosh.
like Hatsune Miku songs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I would like
Um,
to see that.
I know you would.
I'm sure it's like grade A cursed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I bet. Yep, we're gonna play this sometime.
Oh boy.
I've been saying we should do a let's play sometime.
I'm just waiting for the VR version.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
There's a VR
That'd be
game
great.
that's supposed to come out, I think, in January, where you play, I think, during the. It's like set during. What is that time when like alcohol was like?
Prohibition.
Yeah, it's like set during that time, and I don't know if you can get it on yours. I know it's like on
Well,
MetaQuest
I can-
and a few other things.
I can
It
get
should
it
be,
on.
yeah.
Well, I figured out. I can stream games from my computer
Mm-hmm.
to my headset, and since my
Nice.
computer's connected through an Ethernet cable to the router, and it's connected to the headset through Wi-Fi, I'm actually like where it is actually emitting the signal is the router in the room that I play it on, and so I have like really good connection. It's nice.
But this game that was being advertised to me on Instagram was rated for adults only.
Oh,
I don't think I really caught why. I'm guessing it's for like extreme, violence and
no,
the
you can't-
nudes.
Yeah,
but-
it's nudity. It's the only reason why I'd be AO.
Which is kind of weird because you'd think that like hardcore gore would be worse than nudes. But society apparently doesn't see it that way.
American society does not. No.
I don't get it because I think it's just as bad.
Possibly.
Yeah, probably.
Like having blood in a video game, that's one thing. Having like, your intestines ripped out of your belly button, that's something else.
Yeah. Don't want to see that.
Nope.
No.
This is a weird podcast episode.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And now you're smoking your Pocky.
I am.
You could light it up and probably
I'm
smoke
not
it.
lighting it up.
No, he's just
Not
holding
gonna
it
really-
like a cigarette, like
It'd
all
probably
fancy,
still
like.
give you cancer
Like one
in
of
the
those
state
really
of California.
like with the cigarette extenders that those 1920s women would use.
Yes.
We should bring those back.
No, because then people would start smoking cigarettes again.
They already do.
We need to make vape extenders.
So, okay, here's what we do. You know those like plastic saxophones? Turn that into a vape.
It's just like smoke coming out of the
Yeah.
Out of the barrel.
Like it's
Like-
like, well, no, it'd be a regular vape, but it's just ginormous, so you can like put more stuff in it.
Okay.
I think it'd sell very well.
Yeah,
Because
I
like,
probably would.
you know how many people like, well, I don't know how many people do this. Bongs. People buy bongs. People would buy a vape sax, especially if you could still play it. Oh yeah.
Oh, play it while you're...
Yeah. So like
Vaping.
you
You
could play.
blow into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can blow into it to blow smoke out the top, and it'd make notes. And you could also inhale and play it, and then exhale the vape.
How do you inhale to play it?
Kind of like how you'd inhale to play a trumpet. Go, and like nothing would happen, but it'd be fun for whoever else is, brain dead enough to do that.
Okay.
Or like, you know how a harmonica is? You could breathe, you could inhale in a
Yes.
harmonica,
Yeah.
and it'd make a weird sound.
I
Yeah,
think
get-
harmonica's the only one that does that. But I'm not an expert on that.
Okay, we can make a vape harmonica.
There you go. Then you can smell weird and be annoying.
Yes. You're double annoying now.
Yes.
For those who think that vaping is not as obnoxious smoking, you're deluded.
Yeah. It isn't though.
Oh yeah, it's
It
not. It
is.
doesn't smell as bad as cigarettes.
At least, okay. It's nowhere near as strong, and it's also not as bad of a smell at all.
However, it's still not good for you.
Yeah, it's still not good
but
for you.
it is pretty much just as unhealthy.
If not
Yeah.
worse.
If not
Because
worse.
you
I've
can
heard that it's
definitely
worse.
adjust. Like, you can make your own vape at home. You can make your own solution for your vape at home. And people can do basically whatever they want. Someone's probably vaped beer. I don't know why you would,
Ugh.
but
Still get drunk.
I have no idea.
I would think not,
No, I don't think. Well,
but I don't understand how
can
it
still
works.
get in your blood.
It would
Yeah,
definitely
but
do something
alcohol's
weird.
different.
Yeah,
I don't
it is
know.
weird. I don't think it'd get hot enough to cook it out though. The
Yeah,
alcohol.
True.
I don't know. Either way, don't do any of this stuff that we're talking about at home because chances are you're gonna explode.
Because it's just plain stupid. Just
Well,
don't.
that too. It is dumb.
Okay, so basically, don't vape, kids.
Yeah, don't vape.
Just don't vape.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do any of that stuff, be a proper gent and smoke your pipes and cigars. Because
Tobacco only.
yeah,
It's
because
marijuana,
here's the thing:
It smells like skunk. Okay, synthetic skunk.
Cigarettes are really expensive for what you're getting. You're spending about 25 cents per stick, and the tobacco you're getting is basically like like pencil shavings, like just stuff that they sweep off the floor at tobacco places. Like, you're getting the worst tobacco possible combined with like all the added chemicals, and you're still paying 25 cents for your inevitable death. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it. Like, I get that it's addictive, but I don't get why you'd still pay for it when there's better options.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would buy it. Did anything happen in like the news? Did news happen?
Yes.
Is this our first? Wait, this is our first episode after Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is.
Thanksgiving happened. It was
Black
good.
Friday sucked.
Black Friday sucked. It was terrible. Everyone knows that though. It was like basically a Labor Day sale. It was terrible.
I think Labor Day sales are better.
Some of them.
Oh yeah.
Well, mostly just because of furniture. They usually
yeah.
go big on that.
So, one thing that happened is during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Mariah Carey sung like the last song. She sung "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Of course.
Because that's the
course.
only
Her
song
classic
she's ever
song.
made.
Yeah.
Not true, but yeah, pretty much.
But then she also flirted with Santa Claus.
What?
Yeah, she did. She definitely did.
Like, for the camera or like for her own interest?
No, on the camera.
I
Okay.
don't remember this.
Like she got done singing. She looked at Santa Claus, kind of like rolled her shoulders and like fluttered her eyes at Santa Claus, and Santa Claus was like, "Oh."
Did she show some ankle?
Maybe. Well,
I think she was already wearing a
You're like,
dress
Gabe,
that showed
she's
her
wearing a
ankles.
short skirt.
yeah, I think it was just.
Showed everyone her ankles.
Very improper.
Yeah, and then
Wow, put that
Mrs.
woman
Claus.
in a burlap sack.
Mrs. Claus was upsetting. No, I don't think she noticed, but
While she was flirting with, I don't know, Joe Biden.
No,
Mrs. Claus and Joe Biden.
no, Joe Biden only made an appearance on the phone with one of
He
the
did?
announcers. Yeah, when I
He
turned
did?
on the. Well, you guys were still asleep or not there.
I was
No.
watching it.
Oh, you were watching, but yeah, one of the announcers called Joe Biden, and him and his wife both talked, and it's like, why?
That's.
Isn't that a normal thing though? Don't they normally call the president?
I don't know. I don't.
think they did.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Well, you might
they
be right. I
probably-
might
they
just
probably
not
didn't-
remember.
They probably didn't call Trump because they're
They're like, nah, we're no one.
yeah, because NBC News, which was the
Yeah.
group,
Yeah, so it's
The network.
MDC.
yeah, the network that was showing it, probably didn't cover Trump very honestly.
Probably not.
Which pretty much no company did,
No.
because pretty much all news organizations are just propaganda.
Correct. But anyway,
Yeah. Black Friday sucked. Thanksgiving was good.
I mean, I did buy 2 pairs of shoes and some earrings and stuff at.
I bought food. I bought $50 worth of food.
But tech,
Dang.
like the sales on tech was like non-existent.
yeah, no. There's
Um,
like maybe 5 like Switch games that were on sale.
That combined with the fact that it's like, I'm usually expecting a Black Friday deal for like technology, like consoles and whatnot, to be like not the greatest, but I usually expect
At least like 30% off.
I usually expect a bundle. Like they say,
Yeah.
oh, get this console and get one of these 3 games with it
Yeah.
for free because
Which is, a
that's
$60 deal. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
like that's good. Like I'd say that's a good deal. But here's the thing, their Black Friday sale was market sale price. There was no deal.
There's
Yeah.
there's no
But
deal.
Instagram had like advertisements for like Amazon where it's like, oh, it's Black Friday, buy yourself a Switch OLED. And it's like, oh, cool. Let me see what the deal is. There isn't.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
this
why
is
even advertise it if there's not a deal? And I even looked at the regular Switch. Nope, no deal for them either.
no.
There's
Wow.
nothing. And I'm like,
They're just like it's a hot item, so buy one.
oh, yeah. But even PlayStation 4, whenever. So, PlayStation 4, I got, what, a second generation? Years ago? Like, forever ago.
Yeah.
And even they had a deal on it. And it was still a hot item because it was like the PlayStation 4 Lite.
Yeah.
And it just came out that year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
I
came
still
out that
got-
spring or
and it
like
came out.
the
It came
year
with a
before.
game.
Yeah.
It was a bundle.
Yeah.
Switch didn't do that.
And the Switch has been out for a while. They should
It's
have.
been 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
They should
There's-
have good deals on that.
Well, they used to have a Mario Kart bundle.
Yeah.
The good news is that doesn't Nintendo do really good deals on Black Friday on their like online shop?
Yeah.
So I saw that, and they had good deals there. Like
Yeah, they had pretty good deals. You just had to like comb through all the really bad games
oh gosh,
that are not only just bad games, but also like who made this? Who? And how did this get approved to be put on?
because it's either A, inappropriate, or B, just broken.
Yeah. Or both. Usually both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Which is why parents, you should set up parental controls on your consoles so that your kids don't see the horrors.
You'd think that
Yes.
Nintendo is a family-friendly company, and it was.
It was, but not anymore.
so much anymore.
No.
Granted, am I butthurt over it? No, because I kind of saw this coming.
Yeah.
But, you know what? One game I regret buying, and it's for PlayStation 4. Me and Seth both got it because we had like fond memories of playing this game. Unturned.
It was free, right? You didn't buy it, did you?
We bought it.
It was like $5.
We spent like something like that.
Yeah.
More than we should have, that's for sure. The game is unplayable
Yeah.
on PlayStation. You can't play the game.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's so broken.
Yeah. It's it was made by one guy.
Well, yeah,
so,
but
like the PC version, you have to wait like months for a fix.
yeah, but it's at least playable on PC. PlayStation
Which I don't even
4,
know if he's working on it still. I really don't know. I know there was a company. I think there was a company that was wanting to buy the game, but then he was just like, nah.
probably should have sold it
Yeah.
at this point. Like if he's not
He
going to do
started
anything
that
with
when
it.
he was 17.
Like he could
years and
he could
years ago.
sell
Now
it to
he's
the
old.
company and still work on his own private copy of it. Right?
No,
Like
actually, usually they have it signed over that it's like, hey, you can't keep working on it. Like, yeah, you could,
Oh.
but you have to like keep it so under wraps. and
right, you
won't be
can't
able to
publish it. It's just
can't-
for
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be for you, and like you can't even like go to the company and be like, hey, I worked on it. They'll be like, oh, well,
Good for you. Get lost.
yeah, yeah. So, but usually there's something in the contract that says, hey, you can't work on it anymore.
That
It's like,
kind
you
of
can. You just just don't get caught.
You just can't publish anything. You can't really talk about it.
No, you can't talk about it. You can't. Yeah, no. And you're not even supposed to keep a copy of the code. So,
Me and Seth discovered that somebody made their own Lego game. It's Lego Breaking Bad. Apparently that's a real thing. At first I thought it was a meme, but Seth is like, no, this is real.
Nice.
Because like he looked into it, I'm like, why did someone put the effort into making a Lego Breaking Bad game?
Why not?
I guess that's the
there's
reason. Why not?
there's Lego Breaking Bad sets, aren't there?
I think they just came out with one. I think not Nintendo. It was I think Lego was like, yeah, we saw a lot of this kind of
Hold
like
on.
jokery stuff, so I think they may have like cooperated
Hold on.
and made something.
Let me see. I could.
You know,
We could be wrong because there's a lot of things that are like faked very well,
yeah, that's true.
especially when it comes to Lego. Because there's some things that are like, I've heard some people say, oh, well, it's illegal to like copy it and make your own Legos. It's like, is it? I
Might
think it'd
be.
be illegal to sell them.
Yes, it would be illegal to sell them. Make your own, no. Or at least they wouldn't care because you're not making money off of it.
Right.
But
They
that's
just
the
wouldn't
thing,
have
make money
time
off.
to mess with you.
Yeah.
They're not Nazis.
Yeah.
Because you're founded in what? Italy?
I have no idea.
Denmark.
Denmark? Okay.
No, they're not. Lego Breaking Bad
Okay.
sets, which makes sense because it's not a child-friendly.
No,
show.
not at all. But
So.
it's kind of neither is Star Wars anymore.
No, it's still child-friendly. At
They
least
just-
kids are still into it.
Well, yeah, kids are interested in it, but they just had like, I feel like they've gotten more and more violent. Like, granted, they were violent in episode 3, but 4, 5, and 6 is pretty tame.
That was the 70s. They couldn't really do
Right.
less violent.
But then
More
like,
violent.
they cut Snoke in half. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it already. For those of you
For like a 5-year-old movie.
for a movie that's 5 years old. Yeah, when they cut Snoke in half, I was just thinking, it's like, wait a
It
minute.
was a little brutal, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty brutal. Like, that was epic, but I was like, wait a minute. This is supposed to be like a family movie, right? It's like, well, no, not really. It's rated PG, but, right? It's PG, not PG-13 or whatever.
Some of them are PG-13, but most of them are PG, I think.
I don't even understand why there's a rating difference between PG-13 and PG. There shouldn't be.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really make sense because it's parental guidance and then parental guidance 13. So it's like, basically is how it used to be is, okay, parental guidance, meaning you as the parent needs to either do research or watch the movie beforehand to make a judgment call for yourself if your children can watch it.
Yeah.
Which also, back in the day, the rules were very, very loose. Like, I actually learned, like, a week ago that you could have topless women in PG movies.
Oh, okay.
There's even one G-rated movie
Oh,
from like the 60s.
interesting.
But it was like, I think it was technically like a medical thing.
Okay.
Or something.
So
It was weird.
that's
It
how
was
they got
some
around
weird
it.
loophole that they took advantage of. But still, but yeah, it was weird. It was like PG, and yeah, they made PG-13. So yeah, it was.
Sorry, while you were having this conversation, I was texting Mom telling her, oh yeah, I want Hamilton tickets for Christmas because she's been wondering what to get me for Christmas. And Hamilton is coming to town in February.
In February. Speaking of February, my license expires in February. My driver's license, to be exact. And found out in the state of Missouri, I don't have to take a test as long as my license is not expired.
Did you have to take a test in Kentucky every time?
No.
Okay.
But I was thinking because it's another state, they'd be like, oh, you have to prove to us you're not an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Even though I drive better than like 80% of the
No,
drivers here.
Missouri lets all the idiots drive. So,
I
Yeah.
swear the drivers have gotten worse over
have.
like the past month.
probably.
Like we were going, so the exit ramp I take between like I get on this exit ramp from a main road that I take going home from work, and from that road to an exit ramp going, okay, so people are gonna kind of know where I drive, it doesn't matter, going towards Branson.
Mhm.
There's not that much space. There's like maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles, not very far.
Mhm.
Our average speed, I'm going to guess, between when I got off that main road and to that ramp to Branson was probably 5 miles an hour.
Gosh.
My goodness.
And guess what? There's 2 accidents on the side of the road just for that just for that exit.
Yeah.
How is
Goodness.
it? They were right next to each other too. One accident here, 2 cars, definite accident. A little further ahead, another 2 cars. They weren't even like they weren't even 50 yards apart. And I'm like, what is up with
So
the idiots?
first
here?
accident probably happened, and then the second accident happened because one of them was looking at the first accident.
Yes,
Probably.
that's probably what it was. But I'm like, I don't like driving here.
Yeah,
It's infuriating.
it can be.
yeah.
It should not take me like 10 minutes to drive 2 miles.
Mm-hmm. But it happens.
That's the second time in a row,
Yeah.
too. I'm like, why?
On my way to band practice on Tuesday, so I go up. No, well, I go north and then west, and like right by 60 and Campbell, it was ridiculous traffic. Like it was almost stop and go, and I get off on Kansas Expressway, and it comes up pretty quick after Campbell, but I'm in the far left lane, and there's all this traffic. I'm like, well, crap. But I made it there, and I still made it before a worship leader who was late because of the same traffic. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Springfield in general is not designed to handle the traffic that it gets.
No.
And they're not going to do anything about it either, because the way you fix that is basically stretch everything out. And you
Yeah.
can't just move a building
Right.
10 feet.
Nope. There's also a bunch of hills and stuff they'd have to
Yeah.
carve into in some places.
I say you just, kick a bunch of people out. Just be
Yeah,
like, "No,
Hunter
get
was
out."
saying we need to start vetting people who want to get into the state. Like, just if they're from California, they have to take a bunch of tests and stuff before we
Prove-
let them live here.
Prove to us that you're not.
No, we
complete
need one
moron.
test. Who do you vote for?
Yes.
It's
Who
not.
you go-
It shouldn't even be that. I agree.
No, it shouldn't. I'm just it was a joke.
But it's like, here's the thing: these people move out of California because they screwed up their own state because of their terrible voting habits, and then they move to our state and are like, "Oh, you guys are like, gun-toting Americans that read your Bible. we can't have any of that.
Yeah.
And so like they have to like vote Democrat again, voting for the same policies that ruined their state. And then like, let's say 20 years later, they're like, man, the state was really great at one point. It's like, yeah, it's almost as if it's better when you weren't here.
Yes.
Maybe it's that you have bad habits.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe
Will they ever learn?
No, because they don't realize that a lot of things that they vote for brings in more crime.
Mm-hmm.
Recreational marijuana.
Yes.
Spicy topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politics. Hey, if anyone wants to buy a
Weed.
what? No.
Okay.
Alpaca wool blanket. We're selling some. They're
Yep.
what, $110.
They're like $110.
Ooh, the price dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it now while the price is low.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else I'm just going to keep them all to myself. Because have you ever heard of someone saying, I have too many blankets? No, because it's not a real problem.
You could give some away as Christmas gifts. Because I kind of want one.
That's part of the plan.
Yeah.
They're super nice.
They're
so,
very
like,
soft. Handmade in Ecuador. Imported.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my roommate, or roommates, Seth and Katie, we don't use our heater if we don't have to. Mostly because we're cheapskates. But what I've discovered is that it could be like 60s in our house, or like even a little lower, like upper 50s, and I could be in my bed with just a regular bed sheet and then that wool blanket on top of it. I'm out like a light. And I have a cooling mattress too, so I don't have like a super hot mattress. It's just, I'm warm, comfortable. It's nice.
And this is why I don't live with you guys. I would not be okay.
Well, you know, we bundle up inside.
Well, yeah, I hate being cold.
I don't mind it. Just like if I lose feeling in my toes, that's when I'm not okay. I'm like, all right, that's it.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, I think this episode is unusable.
It was about to be a lot more unusable. I was about to say something ridiculous, but
Well, you know.
I forgot what it was,
Well,
and I've already
that's
said
good.
enough stuff that you have to edit out anyways.
Yeah. This episode was pretty unusable. I am tired.
Why are you tired? You
I
slept
don't
till
know.
like 1 in the afternoon.
I think that's why I'm tired.
It's probably the reason.
I need to go to sleep earlier.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I went to bed like at 2 a.m.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I usually don't do that.
I think I went to bed before 11, but I didn't fall asleep till like closer to, well,
Because I have been going to bed about like 10 at night.
I
usually.
remember waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh man, it must be like 1, 2 in the morning, and I look at my phone and it's just 12:30. I'm like, oh, I fell asleep early.
You're like, I'm having one of those nights. Yikes.
Yeah. I think that's it. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I knocked over my water bottle. I think that's it for the podcast. That was a pretty good episode. Remember, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all the places.
If you want us to do a Let's Play,
Yep.
let us know, and Josiah might consider it.
Or a P.O.
Yeah.
box. Don't forget
or
that.
if you want a P.O. box.
I feel
Also-
like the P.O. box is a 800 subscriber requirement on YouTube.
Yes.
Mm.
Subscribe.
Make it a hard requirement, because
Yes.
otherwise people are just like, oh, you know, the pushovers.
Subscribe on YouTube and download our podcast on your podcast app.
Yes.
Yep.
And wait, one more thing. If you would like to donate to the fund, one of my bucket list things is to see one of the Disney Broadway shows like Lion King or whatever. You haven't been able to. If you want to cash app towards the cause, email, and Josiah will give you my cash app.
Yep.
It's a long shot, but hey.
Yeah. So
Well, since that we're asking for money, like, you know, I could use some money. I'd like to, I don't know, have furniture.
Buy some blankets.
or
Yeah, buy our blankets.
or
so I
you
can actually have
could-
furniture in my room.
or you could donate to me, and I'll buy better podcast equipment.
I think at one time I used to have 3 toasters, and now I have 0 toasters.
That's sad.
Okay.
Yeah, I will buy a new mixer for our microphones so we can have 4 people on the podcast, and also our podcast will sound better.
Can the mixer
And-
make toast?
No.
What about smoothies?
And then I'll also get a adapter so I can connect a camera to my computer so that this can be a video podcast. So
They don't want to see us.
Sure you do.
I don't want to see us.
I feel like there's more listeners whenever they can see the people talking.
Yeah, you're probably right. It was a joke. We're not that ugly. I don't think.
attractive.
See, here's the worst part about our podcast like setup that they'd have to look at. That is the fact that we have like a wreck of a room to work with.
That is true. This is like, it's my office, but it's also like the storage room.
Josiah's office table, like desk, is a, let's see. Oh, I haven't seen this brand before.
So it's Sam's Club brand.
Okay, it's a Sam's Club brand folding table. Like, you know, the
Yeah.
hard plastic tables, the metal legs. Yeah, it's that.
Why have we not gone to IKEA and gotten you a desk yet?
Because I'm poor.
We've been talking about doing this for like since February.
I know.
And it's almost February again.
I know, but we're all poor. But
Because
It's
every
true.
time I have money saved up for something, I pay for an Airbnb.
yeah.
So
Oh, that only happened once.
No, it's happened more than once.
An Airbnb?
His birthday,
Yeah.
right?
no,
Oh,
it wasn't
that's
my
right.
birthday.
It was Bobby's.
Bobby's birthday, yeah.
That's right.
Which that was only 40. But
Yeah.
It's
Still.
still money.
Well, I
Yeah.
would have done that same Airbnb, except Josh sold it. So
well, he had to because he couldn't keep that as an Airbnb
yeah,
anymore.
because Branson made some stupid laws. So
Well, it wasn't they just
Or-
did rezoning.
regulations.
Couldn't he just, I don't know, turn it to a fudge factory? Sell fudge out of it?
What?
I don't know. It's something that you could do in Branson. Just turn it into a little shop where you sell
Seems like
fudge.
everybody sells fudge
No, I
in Branson.
don't think the zoning.
I know.
Was,
It's
I
like
don't
what?
think it was commercial zoning.
Okay.
So still problem.
Yeah.
Could have just kept the house as a lake house.
Well, it was the hotels that pushed that rezoning thing because they were mad because people were staying at Airbnbs instead of hotels.
I don't know. Why don't we just get rid of hotels?
Yeah, right.
Airbnbs are more expensive.
Let's
Sure.
do the European hostel thing.
No.
Okay.
You know what? They could have just been like, "Oh, you guys want it to like not do Airbnbs anymore? Okay, cool. We'll just call it something else. We're gonna call it Stay at House for Money."
There's also Verbo. It's the same
Vrbo.
thing.
I don't know.
I learned there's a difference between Verbo and
Airbnb.
Airbnb. Verbo is guaranteed that it's the entire house.
Oh, yes. That is the one
Wait, you can
difference.
Airbnb at a place that's not the
Yeah,
entire
you can
house.
just
Yeah.
get a room.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would want to do that.
I wouldn't.
For places like LA where there isn't enough room for someone to
Or like Chicago.
rent out a whole house.
Yeah. And if you're just
But yes,
gonna,
it's sketchy as heck.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to do that, I would make sure it's like an old couple that owns it, like a sweet old couple that.
Dude, if they're Italian
Mhm.
though, they're gonna just, I don't know, rob you.
No.
Old Italian
It's
mobsters.
kind of
But
racist.
the-
They'll probably feed you lasagna.
Yeah.
Well, depend. Oh yeah, they're gonna feed you lasagna, then you're gonna get in a food coma, then they're gonna take your watch,
Wow.
and then they're gonna put you in their car and then throw you in a lake.
So I'm not renting an
Like-
Airbnb in Chicago or New York or anywhere like that.
Or Rome.
Or
You know, there's just two kinds of Italians: the wonderful, beautiful Italians, and then Italians that are like ex-mob or like no,
Or
ex-mobs are
current
fine.
mob.
The current mob, and they're also beautiful people, and they're usually really nice, except for whenever they're on drugs.
there you
Anyway, so that brings me to a segment that I'm gonna call
Crackhead segment.
no alternative names for the podcast. I came up with one so far.
Racism.
It's called That's Gotta Be Racist. This podcast could have been called That's Gotta Be Racist.
You know, everything's racist if you look at it the right way.
Maybe that's our tagline.
Honestly,
Unusable
it's true.
podcast. That's gotta be racist. It's got a nice ring to it.
There's a story in where was it? Georgia. And
I don't like where this is going.
Oh, it's
Devil
great.
went
It's
down
great.
Georgia.
So
No.
there's a story in Georgia where especially during the wintertime, they just hang stuff in trees around
Okay.
like different like walkways or ways for like golf carts or whatever, because it's the hoity-toity area is what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And somebody found like a banana peel on the ground and decided to put it in a tree. And Georgia was like, this is a news story. Racism. It's because of the blacks. Monkey, banana, peel, in tree. Blacks, racism. And so like they reported this story about how like there's rampant racism in Atlanta, Georgia, because somebody found a banana peel in a tree. Turns out that was just actual garbage. It had nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
That was an actual news story from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was really funny.
That is funny.
You see a banana peel in a tree. That's
racist.
That's
But here's
racist.
the thing: people like hang gloves, hats, and whatever else they find on the ground because people lose things.
Yeah.
And so, like, what if they go back to go and find it? And so somebody just saw someone's trash and was probably upset and was like, "I'm gonna put their banana peel in the tree." So then they see that like what they've done. That's probably what it was. And then the
Probably.
news story was like, some news organization was like, "Oh my gosh, they're calling the blacks monkeys." It's like, no,
You are.
you are. You took something that was not racist at all and made it super racist.
Wow. So when I'm subbing in the schools, sometimes the kids will make racist jokes with their black friend. There's usually like one black kid in the group. Not even every class. There's like maybe 5 in the whole district. But anyway, but like sometimes I'll be like, dude, that's not okay. But sometimes they're laughing about it too. And like and actually usually it's the black kids making the racist joke. And I'm like, whatever. And sometimes they get me to laugh and I'm like, I shouldn't laugh at that. But
See, racist jokes should honestly just be looked at as like this safe space of like, okay, let's acknowledge the fact that every group of people around the world has weird things that they do.
yes.
And instead of like being upset about it, just acknowledge, oh yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just stop being offended.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there are some things that should not be said, but
Yes.
I'll think I'll use my credit card.
yes, like that one. If you understand what that reference is, it's
No.
hilarious.
Okay.
Okay, so it's I forgot his name. It was an Asian comedian, and he was
Oh.
like, he's telling a story about how he's with his family. He's like, yeah, or like his dad was like, do your American impression, and he was like, okay. So he takes his eyelids and he pulls them open, and he goes, I think I'll use my credit card.
Just hilarious.
It's the best.
All my black and Hispanic friends make fun of white people for not using spices in food.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Which-
too.
Mm-hmm.
Is a fair statement
Yes.
for the white people
Especially
in
in
this
the Midwest,
area,
yes.
because spice to them is black pepper and salt.
And they're like, ew, black pepper, no. Yeah,
It's like, don't you dare use salt on that meat.
right.
But like our family grew up with like all the spices.
Oh, yeah. Because we're from the Southwest,
It's all
not
the flavors of
Midwest.
the wind.
Yeah.
It's not how that
Flavors
goes.
of-
All the flavors.
Yeah, all the flavors. Because
Can
it's
you cook with all the flavors of the wind? I actually sang that song in school, the real song in school,
Oh.
not that.
not the cooking version.
No.
But yeah, whites. Go to Walmart or Costco or wherever and go into the seasoning area and buy them.
Yeah.
All of them. You don't even have to know what they are. Just
And
start-
use your
start playing.
credit card.
If you're
Use
not
your
sure
credit
where
card.
to start,
Go into
Yeah.
severe bankruptcy because you bought all the seasonings.
but You know, if you don't know where to start, there's seasoning mixes for different, like, there's Cajun mix and, like, Mexican
start with
stuff.
those.
Start with those.
We're not expecting you to go full Cajun.
And then buy
Buy like
36 pounds of saffron.
What?
Because I'm pretty sure that will cost about $1 million. So,
And use your credit card.
and use your credit card. It is saffron, right? It's really expensive.
I know it's expensive, but
Yeah.
here's the thing: I don't even know what people do with it.
Me neither. It just makes me think
know.
of that one song, Mellow Yellow. And he's like, I can't remember how it goes, but he sings about saffron. But I think he's singing it like it's somebody's name. I'm just wild about saffron. Or something like that. Da, da, da.
Speaking of spices,
Donovan, that's the name
Seth
of
told me about one day while he's working at Arby's. This is the beginning of the big cough. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
yes.
COVID-19. And his coworker, who is probably retarded, was like, you know what? I won't get sick if I cover my entire body in turmeric.
I mean, they might have
No.
something.
And so, yeah, like it helps with like preventing disease, like spread of disease or whatever. But you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah, that's better.
This kid, who is obviously Irish American, comes into work covered in turmeric, bright orange, like the beginning of Donald Trump's presidency, and just so you have this Irish American covered in turmeric, and Seth is like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I was told that turmeric will help protect you from COVID-19, so I covered myself in turmeric. And Seth is like, you're not allowed to come into work covered in seasonings.
Homeboy really seasoned himself.
Yeah, he really did.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You know, at least he's not afraid of spice.
What's funny is that's not the dumbest thing I saw people do during COVID.
No.
The dumbest thing I think I've seen people do is wear crocheted masks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand where they.
Yep.
You know
Just-
what?
Okay.
you know the saying, God is dead and you killed him. That's what applies to those people.
Wow. Or have you seen the ones they have the hats with the pool noodles keeping everybody 6
Oh my
feet
gosh.
away?
Dude,
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are pretty funny.
COVID had people coming out of their homes like it was a D&D game.
Oh yeah.
Like
Hey, it was the only excitement they had
Like-
at the time.
in no other situation in normal everyday life would somebody come out of their house with like some kind of weird contraption on their body to keep people away from them.
Yeah.
But you know what? Seth's method of keeping people away from him, and I'm sorry I'm speaking for you, Seth, but it's kind of hilarious and you're not here at the moment, is Seth would just cough. He
Yeah.
would just cough and people would run away because they're afraid of like COVID, like it's the Black Plague.
Oh, what sucked was I have like chronic allergies. So during COVID, I would sneeze and people would freak out. Like one time I was at my now former boyfriend's house and his dad was like really paranoid about it. Nice guy otherwise, but kind of paranoid about it. And I sneezed and he like comes out of nowhere like, is everyone okay? You guys been, quarantining and stuff? I heard someone sneeze. Are we good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's allergies. He's like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm
Did
sure.
anyone just die?
Like, it's fine.
Like, there are people out there, even before COVID, that you sneeze once and they're like, did you get your flu shot? And it's like, I sneezed
Yeah.
once. I normally sneeze twice.
Yeah.
This is one. I was weird. It was weirded out because it was one sneeze. You're weirded out because I sneezed.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sometimes all these spices that I put on my food get up in there, and I gotta sneeze them out. Okay. So, just let me have my freaking cumin sneezes. Okay, and
Human
leave me alone.
Not to be confused with what is it?
Watch your words.
I am cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
'Cause cumin and cinnamon look similar.
Yes.
do.
Cumin toast. Cumin and sugar toast does not do the body well. Don't do it.
I feel like I've made that mistake in cooking before, but
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure,
anyone who
or
hasn't
almost.
at least done it.
I haven't
once.
done that.
Well,
Well, that's because I don't put cinnamon on anything.
Just wait. Just wait
Yeah.
until you have a craving for cinnamon and sugar toast. If you've never had that craving, you're missing out.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had it much. I had it when I was little, and then Mom kind of
I had
stopped
it once.
doing it. Yeah, we used to
good.
do it a lot. It was like a special
Oh
treat.
yeah. Quick take.
hmm
White chocolate isn't chocolate.
True, but it's
No.
still good.
I hate
Also,
it.
Tony's
It's like it's butter
Chocolonely,
and
we're still
sugar, and
supporting
I can't
you.
stand it. Huh?
Tony's Chocolonely, we're still supporting you.
You know what? We need to get a
Yes.
bar. How about Sunday
do.
we go and get a bar?
Okay.
Yep, do
Go
it.
and get a bar with the boys.
Get a bar with the boys. The boys.
Yeah, Sunday, Mom and I are going to Spring Creek because they're having their Customer Appreciation Day
Wait, what? Where's
So-
this?
at the tea house. Except the tea house will be closed. It'll be the antique shop will be open. And you go around, and all the vendors are there. You can meet them, and they're having giveaways. And they usually have snacks. And there's usually a guy there that gives samples.
There's a
of, like-
guy there.
Well, yes.
That's weird. No.
Shush. It's not weird. I see guys there all the time because their food is amazing.
It is.
Anyway, he gives out samples of cider and stuff, hot cider. Yeah. So that's where I'll be in the afternoon. And the grand prize drawing is a full cake from Spring Creek,
Oh,
which their
yeah.
cakes are the best I've ever had.
You better win that
It makes
this
me
year.
want to cook right
Mhm.
now. I want to cook something.
With all the flavors of
hungry.
the wind.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to go cook food now.
Let's make a cinnamon and sugar cake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That could be good, depending on which
Mhm.
direction it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
We love you
See
guys.
See
Stay
you
safe
next week.
and
Love
don't
you.
sneeze.
Remember, God
Ever.
made you special.
And he loves you very much. Bye-bye.